Welch team friends. I'm Katie Benza, buyer's agent with the Welch team, and somehow I got nominated to discuss hurricane preparedness because hurricane season starts June 1st through November 30th. But what I think is ironic in this situation that I'm the one giving the tips is I am the farm girl from Ohio that relocated here maybe about 6 years ago, I think, and had friends down here that, were reassuring me, oh, we never have hurricanes. It's been 25 years, I think, since we've had a hurricane. You'll be fine. And then I think the first year that we were here, we were already hit with Matthew. So I thought that I would maybe give you a little bit of maybe what a Benza's experienced relocating here, and maybe what is not potentially best for your family if you hear what we experienced. Just something that you should probably talk about and have a plan. But what didn't work out so well for us was the first time we were expected to have a hurricane, the first year we were here. My mom was with me. My husband was, of course, out of town on business, and she thought it would be a great idea to have the kids sleep with their football helmets on. I'm not really sure what that was supposed to achieve, but you may not want to have that as your part of your family plan. I don't recommend it. So I think that the first time with Matthew coming in, there was alarm and we were scared, and I can feel for all of you that, may experience your first hurricane. I don't know if it will be this season or not, but, we started to hear it was going to get worse and worse, and, we had some anxiety, like, what should we do? Even though we were not in a flood zone, and we probably should have sat a little longer to really hear what they were predicting with the weather, we kind of freaked out and we packed our car full of all the stuff. We had a poor 15-year-old lab who couldn't see, this kitten that was screaming and hanging off, literally hanging from the ceiling of the car, with our two kids in the back, and all of our luggage, all of our crap piled into this car. And it was terrifying. It was a horrible experience driving to Alabama. What should have been, I think, maybe 6 hours ended up being 11 and a half hours. There were people that I felt like they were hanging from the trees as we're on the highway. I mean, it was insanity out there. There were cars every which way. There was no organization because everybody was just rushing to get out of Florida. And we're talking about all the way down from the Keys, coming all the way through Jacksonville. So it's just clogged on every median. It was nothing like I've ever experienced. And I know that for us personally as a family, that will not be the best option to evacuate moving forward. Now, that's not to say I highly recommend, if it makes you feel more comfortable to evacuate, I would encourage you either to do it pretty early on so you're not, kind of experiencing that congestion and that insanity, because it's very unsafe. And when you have kids in the car, it really increases your level of, anxiety and fear for your kids. Or I would kind of talk about it and wait it out and see, is that really the best option for you? What I do recommend is sitting down with your family and talking about, what can we expect for a hurricane, but also what do we need to prepare for a hurricane? And I do recommend going to the store, but hoarding a bunch of things isn't going to be good for anyone. And you really just need to take what's best for your family, which would be things like peanut butter, things that you can sustain you if the power goes out. Maybe even ramen noodles, just things, I don't know, actually, if you don't have a gas community or some kind of generator, then you may not be able to do the ramen noodle thing. But I do know that something that I, again, would not recommend is Publix has these hurricane specials. And one year, I think it was during Irma, they had M&Ms that were part of, buy one, get two free or something ridiculous. So we stocked up on all these M&Ms, and we literally, the family ate M&Ms for 4 days. That is not something I would suggest doing. Maybe, I don't know, some basic items that would really help you with the protein and some things that are gonna, sustain you for the next couple of days. But bottled water is a good one to get within reason. You don't need bulk toilet paper. So with the COVID thing, I never got the toilet paper situation, but you don't need to, I don't recommend, you don't need tons of toilet paper. What you do need are maybe to fill up your gas tank, because, for a while, there were a lot of gas companies that were out of power, and they couldn't give us gas. So for many, many days, even past when our power came back on. So filling up your gas tank would be a good idea. I think that those are the basics: bottled water, gas. It is hot. So it's hard because you can't really open your windows during the heat of the storm. So just if you do have a generator, it's a great idea if you have box fans. I know that a lot of neighbors used box fans to keep cool during that time, especially if you're older and you do have that generator. I encourage you to get a box fan because it can get hot in Florida for sure. But what I also recommend is to have novels or hardback books. We're so used to reading now on iPads and those kinds of things, but if you had a handy paperback book, that can help get you through the next couple of days while the power's out. And our family played a lot of board games and cards, and we actually met up with the neighbors a few times and played cards. It just helps keep your mind busy so you're not focused on the storm, and so it can be scary, so it helps take your mind off things. But those would be the Benza tips that I would recommend for the hurricane. I think really sitting down with your family and coming up with a plan that is best for you is what I would highly suggest so that you are ready for a hurricane. Thanks for listening to my tips today.